If you're watching this in January, or honestly at any point when you're trying to just start something new, I want to offer a reframe that might feel relieving rather than motivating. A lot of empathetic women come into this time of year feeling hopeful and then very quickly feeling discouraged. Goals that looked clear start to feel heavy, and energy drops faster than expected. An old question starts to sneak in. Why can't I follow through like I thought I would? And what I want to say right away is this. This usually isn't a confidence problem. It's a capacity problem. January has a very specific energy to it. It asks us to decide quickly. It asks us to start strong. And it asks us to commit before we really know what we're committing with. Most goal setting advice assumes that if you want something badly enough, you'll find the energy. But that assumption doesn't hold up for empathetic nervous systems. Empathetic women aren't just managing tasks, they're holding emotional complexity, natural responsibility, sensory input, meaning, and history, all of that often at once. So when big intentions land on a system that's already carrying a lot, the issue isn't motivation, it's load. Confidence doesn't come from deciding harder or pushing longer. It actually grows after your energy is supported enough to move. When capacity is low and you push anyway, what happens isn't momentum. What happens is self-doubt. Goals start to feel heavier than they should, and follow through feels heavier than it used to. And instead of questioning the strategy, people start to question themselves. And this is where so many empathetic women start telling themselves stories that simply aren't true. Stories about discipline, consistency, or somehow regressing, when really the system was never resourced to begin with. One phrase I hear all the time and say all the time is, it just feels like all the things. Tasks blur together, decisions feel effortful, even simple steps start to feel strangely heavy. And that's not failure. All the things is what happens when intention outpaces your capacity, and nothing has been mapped out yet. Most advice responds by telling people simply to simplify or to narrow their focus. But for empathetic women, the first step usually isn't reduction, it's orientation. There's a question that rarely gets asked in goal setting conversations, but it determines everything. What do I actually have the capacity for right now? Not what you should do, not what you could do on your best day, but what your current energy, nervous system, and life can genuinely support. When this question is skipped, people default to discipline. And when discipline fails, they default to self-judgment. And that's the cycle I help people step out of. This is where glow comes in. Glow isn't about positivity or productivity. It's about energy literacy. Different energy states need different kinds of support. What helps when your energy is depleted isn't what helps when clarity is emerging or momentum is available. When you don't understand your current energy state, your current glow, every goal defaults to effort. And when you do, your action becomes contextual, and confidence starts to grow after movement feels sustainable again. So if January already feels heavy, nothing has gone wrong. You may simply be trying to move without an accurate map. Before pushing harder or questioning yourself, it might be worth asking, what is my current capacity? What kind of support would help this energy state? What would it look like to orient before acting? Confidence will come, not from forcing yourself forward, but from learning how to move with yourself again. If this perspective is helpful, I'll be sharing more about capacity, glow, and sustainable movement here. You're not behind. You're just ready for a different starting point. If you want to stay with this conversation, you're welcome to subscribe or explore the other resources I've shared. There's no urgency, there's no funnel pressure, just a gentle nudge of guidance to help you get to know your glow a little better.